silky smooth hot cocoa mix is perfect for gift giving and the holidays. Has a little bit of a spicy kick with some cayenne pepper, and I have a twist. I add a little bit of espresso powder right into the mix. It's perfect when paired with my hot fudge sauce as a gift. It's great. I love this recipe because it's so simple to make and lets out my crafty side. It takes like 5 minutes and makes the perfect gift. Let's get started. So the base to any good hot cocoa mix is the cocoa powder. The thing here is you want to go high quality. It's a gift, it adds amazing flavor, and you will be using this stuff all the time. I'm using it all day today. So this is definitely important to start as a good base. So first I have some spices. I have some cayenne pepper, adds a little bit of a kick. It's not huge, it's really light heat, but what it does is when you sip the cocoa, you get a little bit of that spice, it goes down your throat, it kind of tingles your entire mouth. It is so good. And then I have a little bit of cinnamon, and this isn't meant to overwhelm the chocolate flavor. It shouldn't taste like cinnamon. It just adds a little hint of something, kind of like a warmth that just really mellows out all of the chocolate. It is so delicious. And I also am adding a little bit of nutmeg, and this is a nutmeg, so it is a whole spice, and I love using whole spices because they last much longer in your pantry, and the flavor is really stronger and just adds a little bit of something to it that I love. So I'm just gonna grate this, just like you would with lemon zest, right into the mix. Next, I'm going to add my sugars, and I have quite an eclectic medley going, but it adds so much to the flavor of the chocolate. So first up, white sugar, which is just really neutral. It adds a little bit of sweetness. It's great. Next, we have vanilla sugar, which I am kind of obsessed with. All you have to do is scrape a vanilla bean into some household sugar. Otherwise, you can buy it at the store as well, or you can just add some vanilla extract once everything's melted. And next, I have brown sugar. I love brown sugar and chocolate. It is such a beautiful combination. So I'm adding quite a bit because the sweetness factor is not as high as with the vanilla or the white sugar. It's more for flavor. And for sort of my little twist, I have espresso powder. And you can see it's just a little bit, it's not a ton, and it just adds a little bit of a kick, a little bit of a twist, so in it goes. And now just to really make this the ultimate hot cocoa, I'm also adding chocolate chips. And these are really small. That's so that they'll melt when you're making the hot cocoa on the stove. What it does is it adds this beautiful sort of liquid chocolate quality to the hot cocoa that is so delicious. Next, I'm just going to mix this together to incorporate all the flavors, because you don't want to get one hot cocoa that's really espresso flavored and another that's really spicy. So you need to make sure it's really well mixed together. And now I'm going to put them in jars, and we have a ball jar right here. I'm just going to pop it in like so. That took, what, 5 minutes? And you now have beautiful, delicious hot cocoa and gifts for everyone. Another one of my favorite chocolate treats is hot fudge sauce. It makes an amazing gift. It's one of those things that is really luxurious and rich, but it doesn't take a lot of time or a lot of money to make at home, so it's one of my absolute favorites to give out to friends for birthdays, holidays, whatever. So to make my hot fudge sauce, I'm starting with a bain-marie, which sounds super fancy and complicated, but it's really simple. It's basically a double boiler. All you need is a heat-safe bowl or top, and you put it on top of a pot of simmering water. And the trick here is you want to make sure that the water does not touch the bottom of the bowl. The reason why I'm doing this is, as we learned from Jonathan, you do not want to burn chocolate. It is just one of those mistakes that you cannot undo. So a double boiler or bain-marie ensures that that's not going to happen. It's going to melt really slowly and maintain that beautiful texture. It's kind of an insurance policy. So I'm just gonna pop this on. It's simmering right now, and it is going to just basically start melting and just coming together. This is the base of our hot fudge sauce. And after about 10 minutes, the dark chocolate and butter base should be completely melted. In the meantime, I have been simmering some cream, and I'm going to add our chocolate to this beautiful cream. It's gonna add so much richness and lovely flavor. I'm gonna whisk that together just so it's incorporated. Well, the hard part's over. Now all I have to do is add some ingredients. So first up, brown sugar, which I love with chocolate. It just adds a really beautiful kind of maple syrupy quality. Okay, well that is nice and smooth. You wanna make sure that there are no clumps in your hot fudge sauce. Next, I'm going to add unsweetened cocoa powder. And this is just gonna kind of thicken it up a little bit and give it a really beautiful flavor. Okay, and now our corn syrup for viscosity. What this does is it ensures that the chocolate sauce will always stay really smooth, And corn syrup is one of those things you definitely do not want to have a lot of, but because this is such a decadent treat, I'm definitely okay including it. Plus, we actually need it in this recipe because it gives it the viscosity, and this is something that corn syrup really you can't replace. So corn syrup is really important to this recipe, but because it's a treat, I'm okay using it. And then we have cornstarch, and I've added a little bit of water to this to create a slurry. And this makes sure that you don't get any cornstarch clumps in whatever you're adding it to. Looking good, in it goes. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this up a little bit and let it come to a simmer. And once it's simmered and kind of gotten to the right denseness that I'm looking for, I'm gonna add my vanilla extract because you don't wanna add vanilla on heat because it can get really easily burnt. So I have my hot fudge cooling and it's ready for me to add my vanilla extract. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. Oh, it smells so good. So this is ready to go. I mean, if I had some ice cream here, I could just drizzle this on right now, but I am gifting it, so I'm gonna start pouring it into jars. Fantastic. Ah, that makes just such a perfect gift. I love it. This is something that anyone would love to receive. It's so delicious, and I have quite a bit left over, so I think I'm gonna have a hot fudge sundae after lunch today.